Yeah, hello, this is Dave from cheapbooks.com playing World of Tanks. The tank I'm playing is a Tiger P. This is a German Tier 7 heavy tank, and the map is Siegfried line. This is not one of my best games. It's only going to be 4 kills, and usually I do not put a 4-kill game on YouTube, even though I do have 4-kill. Obviously I have 4-kill games on YouTube or less. But my cutoff is currently 5 kills. But the reason why I put this one up, I put this one on YouTube because it's going to show some shooting techniques that are an invaluable skill that you will need to learn when you play on a map like Siegfried Line. And specifically, we're talking about shooting under the arches at enemy tanks and things like that. And if you can shoot under the arches, you'll have an advantage on the enemy team, especially if they don't know how to do it. So you can see that the enemy has not yet arrived at the base, or they're on their way to arriving. So obviously, ideally, you want to prevent them from entering the town. Unfortunately, people don't think like that. There's too many people that are afraid to play, and they don't have a good strategy.
Ready to fire.
Now you'll notice that there were 2 tanks in view, and I reversed so that only 1 tank was in view, which means that the other tank would not be able to easily hit at me, and I moved back and forth to optimize my ability to hit this particular tank.
They killed our driver. We're covering his position, but not very well. Target unlocked.
You can see they have a lot of tanks that are still hanging around out there.
Enemy armor is hit.
Now obviously that was a very accurate shot on the guy's forehead. One thing about the German guns, also there was a sniper out at the K4 area, so I was alerting my team that there's a sniper out there. So if you rewatch the video, someone did hit me off from the distance. Now you'll notice that over here on the right, you've got some arches, and you can see that there's an allied tank, and that I could obviously shoot through the arches. But you know, when you get the enemy tanks that you can shoot through the arches, you want to take advantage of that. Let's see if we can get one here. Well, not quite yet. But you can see what I'm planning to do is to shoot right through those arches. So I'm slowly advancing, and obviously he was doing the same.
Critical hit.
Now here's another technique that I use often, and again, you know, don't listen to people who say never to use auto-aim. There's a way you can line up your tank, which I'm doing here, so that I can see the enemy tank, and I can see my tank, and I've positioned the camera so that I'm watching his gun. And when his gun is pointed in my direction, it's not safe for me to move forward. So usually I would wait, watch his gun, and I would wait until his gun points in a different direction, and then I would advance. And then what you have to do is you either hit him, then I would hit him with the auto aim and then back up before he can turn around and shoot at me. It's a little bit faster than using the sharpshooter mode, but it can definitely be done in the sharpshooter mode. Sometimes I do it in the sharpshooter mode also, but when you do it in the sharpshooter mode, you lose the big overview that you get from playing out here. So like I say, I use the auto aim sometimes so I can get the big picture. right now I see his gun pointing at me, and I see another potential target. And look at what happened. As you can see with the Tiger P up on the right, his gun is no longer pointed at me. And we've got this KV-1, which is a one-shot. I think I'm going to go after the KV-1. And look at what happened. He probably took a shot at me, and then he reversed, and I'm just going to shoot him right through these arches.
Enemy vehicle destroyed.
So you'll notice what I'm doing with the camera is I'm trying to align it so I can see his gun. And it's very interesting, and you can see the enemy's gun, and he's probably looking like this. And he has no idea how much I'm watching him.
Target acquired. Penetration. Enemy armor is destroyed.
Okay, so that's 2 kills. Now, in this case, I didn't have surprise against the enemy. I knew he'd be aiming at me. So that's why I used the sharpshooter mode in this case. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get into the sharpshooter mode, and I'm going to slowly advance so that I can see his tank. In this case, I can already see his tank. Okay, this is the example. I go into the sharpshooter mode, my tank is safe, I'm going to slowly advance, and I'm going to nail him as soon as I can get a shot in.
Target acquired. Penetration.
For some reason I decided to use the auto aim.
Got him. Ready to fire. Enemy armor is damaged.
Got 3 kills.
See the target.
So again, one of the reasons why I use the auto aim is because it allowed me to move my tank into a safer position while I'm watching the reload, waiting to get another shot in. And I turned my tank a little bit so that as I reverse, I'm going to disappear from his sight faster. Even though, of course, now I'm going forward. So now we've got 2 enemy SPGs and one other tank that might be a T-20 who is way out there. So that was just a little bit of basic shooting technique. And I have many more advanced shooting techniques that I have the feeling nobody has ever seen before.
Critical hit. Ready to fire. They're knocked out.
Okay, so that's 4 kills. That's the game. And I'm going to explain the score was 15-5. We cleaned up on them. Remember when the Tiger P was, let's see if we can get back there. I guess I was shooting up against another Tiger. I'm going to explain to you a technique that I know how to do. That I use occasionally, and it scares the crap out of people. You know, it's like a godlike technique, and I wish I had replays. Okay, see this right here? Basically, let's go to a better position before he backed up. Right here. Basically what you do is you set it up like this. You watch his gun and you just sit there and wait. If the KV-1 were not there, we would have sat there and waited, and eventually his gun would have turned away from me to go point in another direction. And then I would have moved forward and shot at him and reversed. And then he would have returned his gun facing towards me, but because I reversed, he wouldn't be able to shoot at me, so he would sit there and wait some more time. And then I would wait until he turns his gun away again. I would go forward, shoot at him in reverse, And around that time, they start to realize that there's something unfavorable towards them in the way that the game is being played out, and they start to retreat. They can't handle it. But that's the way a lot of games play out for me when I play one-on-one. It's a little technique you can use that you'll come up occasionally. Like I said, a one-on-one battle around a corner, that's the way you do it. Okay, so that's the game. I got 4 kills. Again, this wasn't a 5-kill or a 6-kill game, but I wanted to show the shooting technique that was invaluable during this particular game. If you're interested in joining my clan, it is CBKS. We also have a clan for lower tier players, which is CBKS2, and CBSPG for people who like to play artillery. The tank was a Tiger P. The map was Siegfried Line. If you have any questions or comments, please post below.